Hey Ma, what's up? Welcome to the Season of Growth Summit. This summit was recorded back in 2019 and it was created for entrepreneurial moms like you to help you to create more time, slay your schedule, and to stop putting out fires. Now, although this was done a few years back, the information is still very relevant. And any links the ladies mentioned in their videos, disregard all current links have been put in the bottom show notes. So enjoy, grab your notepad, grab your favorite warm drink, and get ready to grow. Hey, ladies, thank you for joining the Season of Growth. Welcome to day one. I have a powerful powerhouse, Miss Paris White Tyrell. And
Okay.
we are going to talk about setting a foundation that is unshakable. And it's not probably what you think it is, because everybody thinks that it's something that's outside and this external thing. We're going to have you digging, getting a shovel and digging some of that poo out so you can really sit in your power. And I'm really
Mm.
excited to partner with her because I've been kind of stalking her and admiring her for a while. And plus her skin is fabulous.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
I'm excited to have her here on this year's Season of Growth. Paris, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you serve, and then we'll get into the getting intos.
Okay. I'm from New Orleans. I've been in Atlanta 3 years. I actually have a healing studio in Peachtree Corners. I am a Reiki master, crystal Reiki master. I do a bunch of different forms of energy healing. I do chakra realignments. I do womb therapy. Um, I do child trauma therapy.
Oh,
A number of different services, a few forms of divination. I do pendulum dowsing, I read tarot, I read oracle. So I have a few things in
up your
my tool.
sleeve.
Yes. But collectively, if you had to put it in one category, I say that I do integrated spirituality. And so, particularly with mindset, soul care as self care, and just having financial wisdom, having sound financial tools. And so I look at how to take the spiritual and make it practical. Because too often we think of God or spirit or universe, whatever the terminology we use to describe spirit or the divine, and it's something out there. But no, you are divinity with a body. And so everything about you is divine, everything about you is energy. And my work definitely has taught me that when you understand energy, you better understand self, you better understand life, you better understand how to manifest, how to and manifesting from that place.
Wow.
Um, yeah, not from a place of force. We've gotten to this thing where we're trying to force everything. We're chasing this and we're chasing that. Anything you're chasing is running from you. So,
That's a
my
lot of the things that most definitely that we don't step into our feminine enough, and that masculine is that chase, and
absolutely,
the feminine has the cycles and it understands the ebb and flow of things, and
absolutely.
stepping more into that and embracing that even more. I love what you are doing. um
Thank you.
so talking to the ladies about, I heard you say about emotions. Basically what we're kind of talking about before we got on is what you feel is basically what you're creating. It doesn't matter
Mhm.
what's coming out of your mouth, but
Mhm.
what you're feeling is what you're creating. And just for lack of a better word, please harp on the importance of getting yourself and your feelings under your control and not allowing external forces to creep in and tell you how you should be moving and feeling with stuff.
Absolutely. We do not get what we want. We get what we energize.
Mm.
We do not get what we want. We get what we energize. So money is always a really, simple example because that's something that's relatable to everybody.
Right.
If you say, I need to make more money, first of all, more money is very arbitrary. If you make $1 over what you made, you've made more
More
money.
money.
So we have to become specific with intention setting. Also, um, if you're saying I want more of anything, but what you really feel is the lack, what you really feel is disconnection, what you really feel is not enough, then that's what's going to manifest, because you're saying one thing, but your emotions are tied to your spiritual body, to your spiritual energy, to your emotions, to your creative energy. And so what you get is what you energize, not what you want. Wants can be very fleeting, but
Mm.
it's what you ponder time and time again. It's what you don't say to other people. It's that thing that's deep seated in you that comes from a place of fear rather than from a place of fullness. And so we have to get in alignment. Yes, there's a time to push forward. There's a time to add your physical force and physical energy. But the beauty of the sacred feminine, the divine feminine, is that it is based on emotion and intuition. You have to be in balance. So no, you shouldn't just work from just your feminine place, because there is a time where you need to show up and kick ass, right? But you can't just work from your masculine energy, because you miss the subtleness that your intuition and your emotions provide. So what I always talk to my clients about is emotional intelligence. You can't be all emotion, because then you're all over the place. But you can't be all intellect, because then you're so much in your head that you can't sense, feel, know from an intuitive place. So you have to learn how to ebb and flow, like you said earlier, how to stay middle of the road, how to blur the lines, where you use your intellect, but you check in with your emotions and your intuition to help you make sound decisions. Because the intellect is human creativity, but the
Mm.
intuition and emotion is divine creativity. Those two things must exist together. They
Oh.
must exist together. And so, the whole idea for us is women, coming into our fullness, coming into our awareness, and being in this space that is very patriarchal and masculine energetically. Too often we are shifting to the extreme, where for fear, for fear of not succeeding, for fear of appearing weak, for fear of maybe not getting ahead in a certain way, we compromise those more subtle parts, which are really naturally kind of more easy for us to get to, right? We see what patriarchy has done. We
Yeah.
see what just um, toxic masculinity has done. So we don't need to contribute to that. You got to find the balance.
That is some heavy stuff.
If
And it's
it's
one,
work,
but it's one of those things that once you get into it, it's so simple to do. It's just
absolutely.
breaking through the mindset, like you said, of that, well, this is how it's supposed to be done, but that's how men do it. I forget where I heard it from, but women, we have, what is it, a 28-day cycle, whereas men
Mm-hmm.
have a 24-hour cycle. And
Right.
so a lot of women are trying to operate on this 24-hour cycle when really that's not us. We're
No.
more of a, we have summer, winter, spring, fall. You have weeks
Absolutely.
where you are on it. Like you can hustle and you can be in your masculine power. But the
Absolutely.
week before my cycle, I'm like
Mm-hmm.
totally in fall, leaves falling off the tree. I'm nodding over to the side.
I second that.
You ask me a question, it take me like 2 minutes to come to the answer. My husband has just gotten to the point where I go, look, it's the week before my cycle. Stop asking me so many questions. I'm gonna need you to bring it down, son.
Absolutely. I need 5 minutes. I'll get right back to you.
Hey,
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? This is what I'm seeing more and more talking to women in business. I I'm starting to sense more sensitivity with women. Like there's this natural shifting where we as a business community are looking, number one, more for our passion and our purpose than just a paycheck.
right.
Um, we're also looking for a sense of meaning in our work and a sense of balance. We don't have to compete with men. We don't have to compete
We
with
can't.
the masculine. We don't have to um, like I said, we don't have to work from a sense of force, and it's not going to make you less successful um, or less pleasing to your particular audience. I think many of us struggle because we haven't figured out really what our gifts are as a being. So it's not just what is your gift to bring to the marketplace. No, what is your personal magic, right?
Hmm.
And when you get more into your personal magic, then that will help you connect more to your emotions. That will help you connect more to your intuition. And so now you're not just making decisions from a place of bottom line, but you're making decisions from a place of wholeness. Because sometimes more money is not the answer. More joy is the answer. More fulfillment is the answer. We could all use more money, but at what cost are you getting it?
Yeah.
And is making the money supporting you in being this fullest, more integrated version of yourself, more whole version of yourself. Because you can only kick ass from a physical, energetic perspective
Yeah.
for so long. The
Yeah.
soul is an unlimited resource. The body is not.
Yeah. That was a part of my story, is that I hustled and grinded so much that I grinded myself to sickness. I was having stress
Mhm.
seizures
Yep.
because
Wow.
I had to keep going, but I was making good money. We
Mhm.
had everything else, but my body was like, no, we're not going to do this. This, this not going to happen. What are some of the ways that women can start to get in touch with that spiritual piece of them, to be more intuitive and getting more in touch with their feelings? What are some things that they can do on a daily basis, on a moment by moment, when, what are some things that they can do, and then what are some things that they should be integrating into their life to help them tap into that intuition more? Because with all this stuff coming at us, it makes it real challenging to tap
Absolutely.
into, well, actually to tap into this, because
Mhm.
everything is coming and you're always, processing.
Absolutely. A few things. One of the first things that I would suggest, and honestly, this is one of the most simple things to do, but it is also one of the scariest for a lot of women to do, is to talk to your inner child,
Yeah.
to deal with the little girl that is in you, because this is what happens to us as, particularly as little girls. There is a lot of indoctrination and a lot of restriction. It should be this way. It should look this way. It should sound this way. You should behave this way. But before we start to receive those messages, we're just free. We're imagining, we're envisioning, we're creating. What did you aspire before somebody got in your ear?
Oh.
What was your hope before somebody stomped it out with whatever their version of life was supposed to be? Connecting with your innocence, the part of you that knew it was magical and wanted to be magical just because, not because it wanted to be on the Forbes list, not because it wanted to be some famous whatever it is, but was just full of a life. So I say begin there and really sitting in what that felt like. What did you love to do as a child? Did you
Mm.
like to run around barefoot outside? Go run around barefoot outside. Did you like to go hug up on the trees because you felt safe and loved? Go hug up on a tree. When you get back to your innocence, it allows you to create from a place of wholeness and not all the rules and regulations that come along with being grown. Um, so that's definitely a very powerful thing, as well as being grounded, connecting with nature. Literally, sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself, especially when you feel frazzled or out of sorts, take your shoes off and go put your feet on the ground, on the earth. Let the mother nurture you, let her care for you. Envision that you have all of these long roots coming from all over your body, and they reach deep, deep, deep into the earth's heart. And when you get there, you will literally feel the energy of life pulsate within you. You can feel yourself surrender to her and her nurture you. Many of us are not nurtured, and we're not nurturing ourselves. So we're not creating from a place of love and hope. We're creating from a place of, I need to make money, but
Yeah.
that's really not what serving others is about. That's the byproduct of service. That's the icing, but that is not the cake. Um, journaling, journaling. really writing down your thoughts without judgment. However you feel about it is how you feel about it. But allowing yourself to tell the truth to yourself, about your experiences, about your expectations, and allowing yourself to be free and saying, you know what, that's exactly how I feel about it, and that's okay. And allowing yourself to feel the feeling. Sometimes the chasing and the running and what we call achievement is really distraction from dealing with ourselves, right?
Yeah.
You got to deal with yourself. So those would probably be my three strongest recommendations. And the fourth that I think is equally as vital, and I just told two of my clients this yesterday, write a love letter to yourself.
Ooh.
Write a love letter to yourself about all that you are, all that you've been, all that you've aspired to be. Sometimes we're so busy chasing, going, moving that we've forgotten just the stuff that we've thrived through, not survive, thrive through, the stuff we flourish through, the stuff we've already healed through. And so take a moment to be present. Take a moment to be present. But every day, do something, at least 30 minutes, that's just about you.
Hmm.
With no cell phone, let the children holler if they need to holler for 30 minutes. If nobody lost a limb or died, they're going to be all right. Let the spouse be all right, because you can't always be giving, and you're not investing. See, if you do that in your bank account, it's called NSF, non-sufficient funds, right? And so you can be spiritually NSF.
Hmm.
And so we've got to do those things that help to keep us nurtured and full. So working with your inner child, getting back to your sense of innocence and wonder and magic about the world, getting back to your hope, journaling 15 to 30 minutes every day, no matter what. It don't matter how you felt about it, just express it. Allow yourself to live fully in your life experience, connecting with the earth, connecting with nature. That will help you connect with your sacred self, and writing that love letter to you so that you always are connected to your own sense of divinity and worthiness and power and love. Because you can't fully love other people if you don't love yourself.
Woohoo! One of the things one of the things that I find, because I live in a cold climate, so I want to give a suggestion to people that live in the cold climate. Do not allow the snow and the cold to necessarily keep you from grounding. I have found that even going out, not taking my shoes off in the snow, because I'm not that brave. I love snow,
Mhm,
but I'm not that
mhm.
brave. But I'll take my gloves off and I'll touch the snow, and I'll go
Absolutely.
out in nature. It's all about, and you're right with that grounding. It's all about touching nature and just being present, not necessarily
Absolutely.
thinking, just feeling the energy of the earth. That is a
Absolutely.
powerful exercise, especially if you work from home. Even if you don't work from home, I know a lot of the metropolitan areas now have what they call like nature areas or something like
Mhm.
that, where there's like
Like
grass
nature
and
walks. Mhm.
yeah, where there's like grass and different things like that. So there's ways for you to find grass that, of
Absolutely.
course, you know, and there's ways for you to get out and to be in nature.
Absolutely.
That is so important. That's why
Absolutely.
kids lose their freaking mind when they don't go outside. Like I have an 8-year
Mhm.
old. If he doesn't go outside every day, one or both of us is gonna lose our mind. Either I'm gonna lose my mind because I want him to go out,
Oh my gosh.
or he's gonna be like bouncing off the walls and doing stupid stuff that he knows, but
Absolutely.
it's just like he needs to get out. So
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
important. That inner
Absolutely.
child work is scary, but it's
Yeah,
necessary.
it's necessary. Too many of us are 30, 40, 50, 60, however many decades we've been blessed to be here. But there's a 6-year-old, there's an 8-year-old, there's a 12-year-old in the driver's seat.
Yep.
You're making major life decisions from the place of a hurt child because somebody didn't apologize, because somebody said something mindlessly that they actually meant no harm with.
It had nothing
but
to do with you.
had nothing to do with you, but how we receive it, right?
Right.
I often talk about the big people, so I don't always refer to adults as adults, because when you're a child, they are the big people,
Yeah.
right? And then many of those big people have titles, and so we learn very early in life how to put people on a pedestal,
Yep.
that there is this social hierarchy. So teacher, pastor, preacher, imam, priest, mother, father, uncle, grandmother.
Yep.
We begin sometimes to not be able to honor our own humanity because we look at them as a persona.
Yeah. We haven't
And if
even
they
tapped in to
know,
who it is that we are because we're
absolutely,
attached to this other person's persona of who they wanted us to show up as.
absolutely. And God forbid, if you are being raised by people who do not have a sense of self,
Yeah.
they cannot teach you to have a sense of self. People can't lead you where they haven't been. People can't teach you what they don't know. And so many of us are in this state of emotional, spiritual, intellectual suspension because we held on to an experience and we weren't mature enough to know that that person failed us literally because they did not know how to impart what you felt deserving of. And so that's also the power of growing up, is that you get to change the narrative. Yes, mama, grandma, uncle, whomever may have done what they did and it was effed up that it happened. It's not about erasing the experience. It's about removing the sting so that you can walk in your fullness, because their inadequacy has nothing to do
Nothing.
with
You
you.
have you got me because everything I should have put a disclaimer before this, like get your notebook, turn everything. I'll put it at the bottom of the video. Get your notebook, turn everything off, close the door, get
Okay.
in silence and get it because she's dropping beyond diamonds. She not even dropping diamonds. She's dropping like platinum and all that other stuff on the ground for you to pick up and to integrate into your life. And this is the baseline. This is why this is day number 1, because I could tell you how to plan on day 1, but if your emotional ish ain't together, if you're still coming from this hurt child place, if you still don't know how you want to feel, not how mama, daddy, sister, kids, husband wants you to feel, what's going to happen is that I can give you the system, but you're going to keep creating the same shit over
Absolutely.
and over again. Then you'll go, oh, this doesn't work either. This is why I did this summit, because I wanted to give you the foundations to, no matter where you go, how you go, you have a space of center, and your emotional space is your space of center. I can say that with certainty, without wavering, that your emotional center is the basis. And this is somebody who, for her whole life, was very analytical. And I had to get in touch with this emotional space in order to thrive, because I wasn't thriving and I couldn't figure it out because I was doing all the steps, I was checking all the boxes, but I couldn't figure out why life wasn't working. And that might be why life is not working for you, because you're checking all the boxes, you're doing all the stuff, you're hitting all the milestones, but it doesn't feel juicy. This is why it doesn't feel juicy. What Paris is sharing with you is why your life probably does not feel juicy. And the work isn't pretty. It isn't often easy, but it's worth it. You won't die in the middle of it. You'll be fine.
No,
It's
you will
worth
not.
it. It's worth
All of our superpower is authenticity. Sometimes the money is not going to look how you want it to look. Sometimes whatever the ideal client is might not be the person that shows up, but that's all a part of the process. And I was just saying to somebody the other day, I said, rather than treating divinity like a co-creator, like a partner in authentic living, we too often treat God, the divine universe, like a genie. And so what we do is we pray and we want spirit God to wave the wand and to fix it.
Yeah.
No, no, no. You're given the ability to fix it. You're given sisters that host summit like which summits, like what you're doing, you sisters that you can go and be in sacred circle with, sisters you can go and do retreats with. You got to do the work.
Yeah.
Too often we want the glory without the story, and those two things do not go together. The life that you want is on the other side sometimes of who you've always been. The life that you want is in giving up what you think you know so that spirit can impart new wisdom into your mindset. The life, the business, the wholeness that you want means giving up the fragments. It means crying. It means grieving. It means forgiving yourself. It means forgiving other people. It means releasing the way you thought it would be and celebrating the way that it is. It means that even if stuff seems really shitty right now, how many weeks, how many months, how many years have you lived and you're still here? Sometimes we're living like it's over. It ain't over till it's over.
Yeah.
It's not over till it's over. And sometimes we haven't said yes to ourselves. We haven't given ourselves permission to heal. We haven't given ourselves permission to be emotional. We haven't given ourselves permission to make mistakes, to say, I don't know, to say what you did or said really hurt me, that offended me, or to say, you know what, that disappointed me. Whether it was you did it or some outside source did it. And you can't live a life, you absolutely cannot live the best life that you have access to without becoming the best version of you. You cannot do it. You can pray all you want. You can do all the rituals you want. You can make all the offerings you want. If you're doing it from a place of spirit as a genie and not from a place of surrender, saying, Spirit, I trust you with my pain. I trust you with my disappointment. I trust you with my sadness. And I trust myself to be strong enough to come through it. Stop wasting your time. Don't waste your time on the rituals. Don't waste your time on the prayers. Because you have to be an active participant in your own wholeness. Spirit created you whole, but it's your responsibility to be on the journey that allows you to walk in it, to talk in it, to stand in it, even when you don't feel like it. It doesn't change the reality.
That is a huge piece. That piece of knowing and trusting yourself, which is again part of the process, starting with that inner child work. A lot of us don't trust ourselves because for most of us as kids, now my kids are being raised differently but we weren't allowed to make our own decisions. Like what, huh? You got told what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And in turn, it caused you to not trust your thoughts and taught you not to trust your decisions. You were always waiting on somebody to give you the green light, the okay. I used to call my mom a whole lot. And when I realized, it's like, oh shit, I don't even trust my ability to make decisions. I have to call her all the time to get like the green light or the push to do something. And and sometimes it's not your mom. It could be your best friend. If you find yourself always trying to go out and get people to validate what it is that you feel in your spirit, that's an inner child issue. You're gonna have to do that work to know how to trust yourself and your intuition. When your intuition says, hey, you need to go right. You don't go, hey, Keisha girl, I got a note from Spirit and it said I'm supposed to go right. What you think about going right today? I'm not sure about it. You sure about it? Should I do it? By this time, you done got hit by the car of life and it's all messed up and you can't figure out why, because you're not able to make a decision. This is the foundation of everything. And we try to skip this work. We try to gloss over this work because it's not pretty. And we always think that we'll get back to it after we get over there. When in actuality, you're really not going to get over there until you get in there.
That's right.
And
it's like being stuck on a loop. It's true, like being a hamster on the wheel. You're just running in place.
The children of Israel, the children of Israel, you will keep going around that mountain and keep going.
Yeah, going and
Peter
going.
will not let you come off that mountain until you get the lesson. And if you're like, why is my life not looking like I want it to look? What is it that I need to be doing different? She gave you the steps. Start with your inner child work. Figure out where that critical voice came from. Because 9.9 times out of 10, it didn't come from some stuff that you started. Because, like Paris said in the beginning, you were innocent, you were imaginative, you were creative. Until
Yes.
something told you somewhere, that's not the right thing to be. You should be this. Oh,
Yes. Who can tell you that being you is wrong? Now, yes, there are things about us that we need to be mindful of. There are certainly behaviors that we shouldn't display. But I mean, essentially, as a being, I often say that when Spirit created me, there was no board meeting, there was no panel discussion. Nobody got to input. Her hair should look like this, her eyes should look like this, her voice should sound like this. No, the great architect in all of its wisdom crafted me for exactly what it wanted. Exactly, I'm built exactly in the way that I need to serve in the assignment that I have in this incarnation. And some of us are not living our innate assignment because we allowed somebody else to come along and be the director. Well, no, you came from the great director.
mm.
The script is already laid out. So you can't give your power away and let somebody else tell you who you're supposed to be. Who knows who you're supposed to be more than the divine? Who knows
Which is
more about
inside
you,
of you.
your creator in you?
Yep.
You know? And some of us are afraid. We literally are not living our fullness because we're afraid of judgment. We're afraid of what people gonna think. What my family gonna say. Well, guess what? What if what they say? I believe that every day I'm not just living life, that I am writing my obituary. And you damn well better know that the story that somebody will have the privilege of telling when I'm no longer in this body will be the story that I wrote and not the one that I allowed. And I pay a price to live this life. I pay a price to walk in my authenticity. Not everybody likes me. Not everybody approves of me. Not everybody wants to smile with me. But guess what? I'm okay because at the end of the day, when I lay my head down at night, my life has meaning. I'm serving in the way that I want to serve. I feel love through my work.
I
From
feel
what my clients say, they feel love through my work. My life has beautiful meaning, and the relationships I do have make me feel nurtured and supported. And I feel like my life matters. I feel like my contribution matters. I know that what I am contributing to the world matters. And that has nothing to do with other people. Everybody not gonna get you. Everybody not gonna be your client. Sometimes the money not gonna look how you want it to look. But we also have to know that being in business is not, yes, we make money through business, but being in business is not about making money.
no.
Meaning being in business is about meeting a need
Serving.
in service. And money is the byproduct or should be the byproduct of meaningful service.
Yep.
But we live in a world that has lost that. But that ain't got nothing to do with you either. You show up how you're supposed to show up and let everybody else figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
This was so fabulous. I love it. 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 So, Paris, what awesome things do you have for my audience? What's your offers? How can they get in contact with you? Where can they find you on social or your website?
Yes, my website is Paris, just like France, White Tyrell. So it's ParisWhiteTyrell.com. Of course, I'm so excited to be doing your summit, and together we're doing the Authentic Collective Summit December
That's
11th
fire.
to 15th with the beautiful August Crenshaw. I also host healing retreats. So I have a retreat April 30th through May 3rd at the Heartwood Healing Community up in Blue Ridge, Georgia. It is going to be absolutely beautiful. It's a Thursday to Sunday. I've got some amazing healers that are going to be co-creating and co-teaching with me. It's a small group retreat, so it's limited to 30 people. Y'all, please excuse if you hear my big baby. All of a sudden, she's like, "Mommy, I need to go now." And let's see, on Instagram, it is Paris White Tyrell. And on Facebook, I believe it's Paris.White Tyrell. But my phone number is there, my email's there. You guys can certainly come and see me at the studio. You can call me just if you have questions. I am all about building sacred community. All about building sacred community. We cannot do this alone.
No. And this is not a one-shot deal. Just, you cannot say I got healed last year. This is it's
healing like life.
Yeah. It's a continuous process. With each thing that you go through, you're going to uncover something different. Each level that you go through in your life, you're going to uncover another block. And this is not about getting perfect. This is not about I did my healing and I'm done and now I'm woke and I can do it. It's not about that. It's a continuous journey. It's about looking for that next thing, the next step, and then to continue on your journey and going back as much as you need to do what you need to do. But her work is definitely not none of this summit, none of even the work that I do, if you guys have been following me for a while, none of this is like a one and done type of deal. This is not, I'm gonna give you this planner and everything will be good. No, this is, I'm so sorry. This ain't what you're looking for. This is a continuous work. And I think we're beginning to normalize that things are continuous.
Yes.
That it's not if you have to keep doing it, if you have to keep reading it, if you have to keep, working on it, that something is wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You grow and evolve. This is a part of life.
Absolutely.
It's a part of life. I have been to some summits multiple times, some workshops multiple times, because each time you go, there's a different layer that comes off. There's a different brand of pain that comes off of you, or healing that you get from it, or lesson that you learn that you may not have got the first 2 or 3 times. And it's okay. It doesn't make you stupid. Like I'm hoping to eradicate that that mindset of, if you have to keep going through something, if you have to keep working with somebody, that there's something wrong with you. Right. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just a part of the process, and embrace that and be okay with it.
Absolutely. When you've been holding something for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, it's an unrealistic expectation to believe one of anything, two of anything. Feel that. And healing is not just about going through some prescribed steps. It is about really you being on a journey of becoming, but also you gaining more tools. So when that thing comes up again, you're better equipped to handle it. And the version of you that's on the other side of that experience, when you are more equipped, is a more powerful being in and of itself. So healing doesn't just help you from an emotional state, it helps you as a total being. It helps you to walk more in your power, and to also not approach life from a place of fear, because life is sticky. It gets on you. Stuff happens. It's beautiful and crazy and complicated and simple and wonderful and aggravating all at the same damn time.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, we can handle it. And the greatest accomplishment you can have is getting to a place where now when things come up that could make you feel unsettled at another time in your life, your first instinct is to breathe. Is to breathe and to be present with it, and to allow yourself to feel it, however it shows up in your body, in your mind, and then to react from a place of mindfulness, not reactivity, not just lashing out, but what is the meaningful response to this experience, even if it's something that hurt me to my core. So it's not about being perfect. It's about being able to slow down enough to be present. That's what healing really is about.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bless you.
You
I
gave
enjoyed you. Yeah. I'm excited, and for all of the ladies in your community, I just send you guys hope and light and love. You know, be courageous. Be courageous in your journey. Know that the greatest thing you will ever accomplish is the becoming of you. That it's okay to not have all the answers. It's okay to not always feel strong. It's okay to not always feel capable. You are God, Goddess, divinity enrobed in flesh. There is nothing that you cannot do. There is nothing that you cannot do. But you got to believe that with all your heart. And for all the trust you give away to others, make sure you trust yourself. Make sure you trust yourself. And you'll never steal you wrong. You will never steal you wrong when
Never.
you trust and honor yourself.
I'm a happy dance on my bouncy ball. Ladies, I hope this will be up until the 24th. I can guarantee you'll play it more than once. I know I'm going to play it more than once because there was just some things in there that I know that she said that I need to work on myself. And this is not like you got to take all of the steps and work them at the same time. That's going to drive you crazy. Pick one. Work on it for 30 days. See how it changes your life and then add another one. This is not let's see who can check the boxes off the fastest. Pick one and come back and try another one. Pick another one. Go to one of her retreats, whether you're in Georgia or you're near Georgia. Go to one of her retreats and really give yourself that space to just be, because she's going to hold that space for you, which is so important. We can try to do this on our own, but what I know for sure is this is not something that is meant to be done this is not a DIY project. There are some parts that you are to do. There's some work that you are to do. But just like getting a coach for your business or for your money, this is a coach for your spirit. She's what you need to get to that level. So I hope it has served you. As a matter of fact, I can put money on that this has served you as much as it has served me. And I am so grateful for Paris and for giving us her energy and her time and her space. I appreciate that. So thank you, ladies, so much for joining me for today's season of growth with Paris White Tyrell. And thank you for being here with us.